Hello there. I have got a Pigma Micron pen in red that I used to sketch some sunflowers onto this Sage mixed media paper. I typically want to work in sketchbooks, but I bought this pad of paper and I decided to just work on a piece of paper out of a sketchbook today. Getting kind of crazy over here. I've also got my Holbein Acrylic Gouache pulled out, and I have put a piece of palette paper in the lid so I can just squirt my colors in there. I also have some random brushes that I'm going to use. I found this reference photo on the Botanica_collective on Instagram. This was a bit much for me, so I just use it as inspiration to just put some flowers on the page, and my thought was it's just going to be kind of like flowing. I can add more if I want to add more layer, but I'm just going to start with this and maybe just embrace the color of the paper. So I think what I'm going to do is put out the yellow. I think I'm going to use both lemon yellow and deep yellow. I'm really going to put a tiny little dab out though. Let's see if I can move that so you can see it. Because since this is acrylic, I don't want to use too much. I don't want to put too much out of my palette, because if I don't use it, then I've wasted it. It's different than artist gouache, where it's good for a while if it dries down. I think I'll put some burnt sienna as well. And I think we'll start with that. Okay, I've got my, hold on, let's move this over. Okay, let's give it a try. I am going to switch over to a recording. I found that while I was painting, it was really hard to speak. Sometimes I get in that mood where I just, one, I want to focus, or two, I'm focusing on my painting and I can't focus on my words, or I'm just feeling kind of blah. You know, sometimes that just happens. I think that's what was happening with the sunflowers, which, you know, they're a beautiful subject, but I just couldn't talk and paint at the same time. So as I mentioned before, I decided to start with those colors, and I wanted to say that I only have the set of 12 of the Holbein Acrylic Gouache. Now, I haven't used them a ton. I've used them for a handful of paintings, and I'm loving using them. And I really don't feel like I'm limited with my colors. So I kind of think I want to start using them more to test to see if I can make more colors with them. When I work with watercolor, I always swatch them out. In fact, I just bought a new watercolor and I need to add it to my color chart because I've referred to that thing all the time. And I've been painting for many years and I still refer to my color charts because I want to see, it helps me see which few paints I want to choose based on the colors that they mix together. So I am really curious about how the gouache works. Maybe I should do a color chart with them. Maybe not. I don't know. Do I want to do that extra work? Maybe not. But I am curious if I'm ever going to feel like I need more colors or if I'm good with that set of 12. Not sure. But I really enjoy using them. And I'm also really enjoying this mixed media sage paper. This is the only painting I've used on it, but I had such a great time. The hot press goes really well with the acrylic gouache, in my opinion. It just feels really nice. It just glides wonderfully. And the green was just such a subtle color. Like they make other colors. I think there's like a denim and a gray, but that green is such an earthy neutral and I really enjoyed it. I felt like it complemented the sunflowers and they really popped off the page in the final piece. The green paper I bought at Plaza Art Materials in Rockville, Maryland on a road trip. I was going to say field trip. On a road trip a few weeks back. And I looked it up and they actually sell it at Blick as well. And, you know, it's only like 40 cents less at Blick. So I was kind of surprised. You know, I thought for sure that in the store it would have been a couple dollars more, honestly. But it wasn't. It's fairly comparable to buy it online rather than in the store. So I'm going to link that below. I'm also going to link the gouache below. As far as paintbrushes for my acrylic gouache, I am using my acrylic paintbrushes, but I do not buy fancy brushes for my acrylic. I tend to use flats, angles, and I have a couple tiny filberts. And actually, I think I'm using that tiny filbert right now. I don't paint big in anything. I just don't. I want to. I have a huge canvas that I want to use, but I haven't yet. But I really don't buy expensive brushes for acrylic painting, so I'm not gonna tell you that you should either. Just spend your money how you want to spend it. You do you, boo. Anyway. I have blocked in all of my flowers and I've added some highlights to the petals here and there, and I'm adding highlights to the centers, and it is just going so enjoyable. I'm having a great time painting these. I decided I wanted to add a little bit of red as a pop of color on those sunflowers near the centers of flowers, and oh, I just love it so much. That isn't really in the reference, but I've seen them like that before, and I like them. I like them like that. So I was fully prepared to call this finished. I didn't really love how it was looking. Like, I love how this is looking, but I don't love the flow. Like, it makes me wonder if I could have another flower up here. So I turned off the camera and I went downstairs. I got myself a snack and I thought, I'm really enjoying myself. Maybe I just need to fill up the page. So my original plan of, you know, not doing an entire page like the reference photo, maybe it was wrong. Maybe I am going to do the entire page like the reference photo. Not, you know, matching the reference photo, but taking inspiration from it. Maybe I'll put some more flowers in here and have some fun because I'm enjoying it. And if you're enjoying it and you have time, you might as well keep going, I think. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna put some more flowers in there. I'm gonna eat my snack. I'm gonna put some bread in the oven. So I'm gonna be taking some breaks to put that in there and take it out. But yeah, I'm gonna hunker down and just enjoy this process. Sometimes I just need to zone out and enjoy the process. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I want to ask, do you think that you would have quit there? Or do you think that you would have focused on maybe 3 or 4 flowers rather than doing the weird shape that kind of looks like Florida there? Do you think you would have done that? Or, you know, how would you have handled that reference photo and the painting? Have you ever done this as well, where you think that you might be done, but then you're just really having so much fun, you just kind of want to keep going? That happens to me sometimes. When I was plein air painting with my friend Angela, I don't know, it was like a month ago, I was using acrylic. I was using open acrylics by Golden, and it was my first time using them, and I was working bigger than I normally do. It was like a bigger sketchbook, so I'm going to say like maybe a 9 by 12 or so. And I came like towards the end and I was just like, well, but I'm having so much fun. I don't want it to be over. but it needed to be over. One, I was hungry. I had to go eat some lunch, but there's only so many things you can do in a painting that, it really did feel done. This page though, of sunflowers, there's tons of extra room. It didn't feel done. So I think that filling in that space was a good idea for me. I really like how it turned out. I actually think I could have added more flowers, but I didn't want this video to be super long either. And it's sped up a lot. It's like 800% sped up. I do feel like I could have added more in the end, but it's pretty. I really like it. I actually put a little mat around it and put it in a frame just really quickly to see how it looked. And it was so adorable. I mean, for someone that loves sunflowers, I bet they would love to receive this and hang it on their wall, or maybe as a card. It would be a cute card. Oh, that's so nice. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling. I think I'm going to stop rambling and just let you enjoy watching the rest and the music, and pop in the comments and let me know what you think. Before you go, please like and subscribe. I really could use the subscribers, and I love getting comments, especially nice ones. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.